You know the snow will slowly melt, but my love will never die.
The disappearance of Ryan Larsen from La Vista, Nebraska, Monday, May 17. La Vista police say between 12 to 12:05 p.m., Ryan Larsen walks out of La Vista West Elementary. The school calls police immediately. Between 1:30 and 2 p.m., Ryan is spotted on surveillance video at the Southfield apartment complex where he lives. Police say he's not been seen again. Officers and a volunteer search party look for Ryan deep into the night. Tuesday, May 18, Central Park becomes home base for returning volunteers. The group digs through smaller spaces and high, grassy areas where Ryan could hide. Additional agencies and members of the military get involved. Wednesday, May 19, the Federal Bureau of Investigation and National Center for Missing and Exploited Children join the investigation. Police redirect their focus from Central Park to Walnut Creek Lake. Police say Ryan has wandered there from his family in the past. Thursday, May 20, the emergency missing advisory expires. Friday, May 21, dive teams are sent into the water at Walnut Creek Lake. Police dogs are sent out and find a scent, but it is not clear if it is Ryan's. Saturday, May 22, the entrance to Walnut Creek remains closed. Sunday, May 23, police announce water levels would be lowered to make the search easier for investigators. The park is reopened to the public. Mother, sisters of Ryan Larsen speak publicly for first time since boy's disappearance. For the first time since his disappearance, the family of 12-year-old Ryan Larsen are speaking with 6 News. It has been just over 4 months since the boy vanished after walking out of La Vista West Elementary School on May 17. Although the outside world has changed, Ryan's room has remained the same: drawers with Legos and army men, shelves of books and action figures, and local police baseball cards hang on his walls. Sometimes I actually come in here and sit just because it still smells like him, says Tammy Larsen, Ryan's mother. Tammy and Ryan's sisters, Taylor and Kayla, say he's one of a kind. Funny, goofy, and a little awkward, too. He's kind of shy at first if he doesn't know you, and once he gets to know you he'll talk your ear off, Tammy says. But just a very, very sweet boy. He's hilarious, like, he doesn't ever try to be, but he's so funny, says Taylor. Because of Ryan's autism, his family says it's not uncommon for him to run away if he gets frustrated. Just weeks before he disappeared, he walked out of school and was found a few blocks away at his grandmother's house. In the past, Ryan has always come home after an hour or two of hiding. But on May 17, something was off. I knew within 3 hours something was different. He always pops up, he'll move places when he hides, and something just told me this was different, Tammy says, as she recalls the day Ryan left. This isn't like before. He either pops up or he's found within an hour or 2 tops, and it was like this is not the same. Something else happened besides him just taking off from school, says Ryan's oldest sister, Kayla. La Vista police have spent countless hours and resources on looking for leads that might lead them to Ryan, but a few weeks after he went missing, community tips slowed down significantly. Now, his family is left wondering what really happened to him. I mean, police tell us they base everything off of facts, and the only thing they can prove is he walked out of school. I think if he was stuck somewhere, they would have found him by now, but if I had to put a theory, someone took him, Tammy says. Tammy, Taylor, and Kayla have remained positive and hopeful that Ryan is still out there and will come home. Support from the community has been overwhelming, especially during the early days of his disappearance. The first night or two when the police had me stay at home, I went out on my deck and I could see people everywhere, Tammy recalls. People I don't even know were out looking and stuff. That was amazing to know. That many people that don't even know us were out looking for our little boy. I mean, there were some people out searching all hours on the night. 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and the fact that they'd be willing to give up their time out of their lives with their families to help us look for ours. I can't even explain how thankful we are for that, Kayla adds. The Larsens say they want to keep the momentum going, and are asking people to continue to look for Ryan and not to forget about him. Somebody, somewhere around here, I don't know who, but I think somebody knows something, and I wish they would come forward, and they might not even think it's significant, but it could be what brings him home, Tammy says. We honestly believe he's still out there, and, you know, people need to keep looking in their everyday lives, not just, think that the story is over and that he's gone forever, because I don't think he is, Taylor says. The Larsens say they have felt immense amounts of community support, but they've also felt the judgment, criticism, and read the accusatory theories and threads on social media. I think people need to realize that this isn't a TV show, this isn't something you watch with your family and then you get to see the happily ever after and go back to your life. This is real for us, this is something that we're going through, Taylor says. Ryan is still gone. I think it's so easy for someone to sit behind a keyboard and type whatever they feel, but we do see that it still hurts. The Larsens decided to speak publicly as Ryan's case has slowed down, to remind and refocus the community on the efforts to bring him home. In a TikTok video posted to her Facebook page, Taylor admits that cases like Gabby Petito's, which has gained national attention, inspired her to be more vocal about Ryan's case. Taylor says that's not the only reason, though. Social media has just gotten really out of hand, and at this point a lot of people aren't even focusing on Ryan anymore, they're just focusing on how they feel about us. His story, I feel, is losing its focus and is fading away, and we need to keep his name and his picture out there. He's out there somewhere and we need to bring him home, Tammy says. Tammy says she, too, has seen the social media chatter surrounding Ryan's case, and has read the accusatory posts and comments on Facebook about her. There's a lot of if it were me, well, I really hope that, even the ones with all the hate, I really pray to God that it's never them, because you don't know how you're going to react until you're in the situation, she says. There was a lot of why hasn't the mom gone on camera? Well, this is something that I live every single day. These girls are here, but most days I come home and I'm here by myself. So, for a while, it took everything to get up in the morning and get going. What to do if you see Ryan? Ryan, a 6th grade student, was last seen leaving school Monday, May 17th. He is described as white, about 5 feet 8 inches tall, with brown hair and hazel eyes. At the time of his disappearance, he was wearing a black jacket, blue jeans, an Old Navy shirt, and was carrying a polka dot umbrella. If you see Ryan, authorities say not to call his name, instead, keep your distance and call 911. Anyone with information about his location should call Sarpy County Crime Stoppers at 402-592-STOP, 7867, or call 911. LVPD is also urging the public to use its See It, Say It, Send It app to submit tips, but to also be mindful of unsubstantiated rumors circulating on this case. The search continues for Ryan Larsen. 6 months later, days turned into weeks, and weeks turned into months. Now 6 months later and the search is still on for Ryan Larsen, a missing 12-year-old boy with autism. We haven't had a missing child case like this pretty much in the history here, La Vista Police Department Chief Bob Lawston said. We've had a lot of challenges in other areas and other cases, but because of the circumstances of this one, this is something that you really want a resolution to. Ryan was reported missing on May 17th by La Vista West Elementary School around 11:45 a.m., where he reportedly left the school during a passing period. A neighbor spotted Ryan around 1:30 p.m. that afternoon outside of the Southland apartment complex, where he lived. An umbrella that belonged to Ryan was found at the complex by a neighbor as well. He had the umbrella with him the day he went missing, and the family says the umbrella meant a lot to him because it was given to him by his sister who had recently moved out. The umbrella did test positive with his DNA. There were surveillance cameras that picked up a person who police believe could be Ryan near La Vista Kino at 1:45 p.m., but they can't identify it for sure. Lawston says they are waiting on DNA testing for some other items they have found, but that is about all they've had to work with. We've had a lot of challenges with this because information really didn't come in, Lawston said. We have a young man who suddenly just disappears. Federal, local, and state agencies along with the La Vista community have extensively searched Walnut Creek and continue to sporadically search the local area. Lawston says the longer a case like this goes on, the suspicion of foul play increases. However, they still don't believe he was kidnapped. We still don't believe that he was abducted. There is no information that suggests that he was taken by a stranger, Lawston said. With the arrival of hunting season, Lawston asks hunters to keep an eye out for anything out of the ordinary. Again, we're 6 months into this case. The chances that we may have a body out there, if they come across anything that seems really odd, Larsen said. In a field, by a riverbank, whatever, take note of that and call 911 and let us come out and check it out. Larsen says this case has proven why the first hour is so important in a missing persons case. In order to get a quicker start in future missing person cases involving children with disabilities or adults suffering from forms of dementia, the La Vista Police Department has adopted a program out of California called Take Me Home. It's kind of a precursor to any call that would come out. Larsen said, "We have information from a family member about a child or an adult that has some type of a disability. This information would include some of the person's special interests, places they tend to go, their characteristics, family members that live nearby that the person may have wandered off to, life-threatening medical concerns and if they might fear police or EMS. It also includes a photo of the person. When that call comes in, we can have units go to a specific area right off the bat before we go to a house to get the information," Larsen said. "It gives us a head start. You can register your child or family member and learn more about the program by clicking here. Only the police will have access to this information. While this can be a beneficial tool for future cases, the department is still fully committed to finding Ryan and finding closure. Our job is to find out where Ryan is at and what happened to him, and that's still our ultimate goal," Larsen said. In response to Ryan's disappearance, Papillion La Vista Community Schools has made a request for a proposal to install interior and exterior cameras at La Vista West Elementary, along with the other 15 elementary schools in the district. Currently, none of these schools have any cameras. They say the process has extended to this point because of the search for funding, along with planning out the layout of the cameras at each individual school. Search for missing La Vista boy Ryan Larsen continues 1 year later. It's a missing child case that rocked the community and made national headlines. The search for Ryan Larsen continues 1 year after he went missing during a day at school. Staff at La Vista West Elementary School reported Larsen missing after he went outside the building during a passing period and did not return. His disappearance sparked a local, then a national search, that included state and federal authorities working with local agencies. La Vista Police Chief Bob Larsen says his department is still searching for Ryan. "I wish I could say we've found him alive or deceased and we have a resolution on bringing him home. And then, is there a criminal aspect to this? And you get into the criminal aspect, you have evidence, is there something that's prosecutable? Do you have suspects? That's what we don't have right now and that's what's really frustrating," said Larsen. Community members are asking people to wear green ribbons or green clothing Tuesday to show support for Ryan and his family. Here's a brief look back at the timeline of Ryan's disappearance. 1 year ago Tuesday, on May 17, 2021, La Vista investigators say Larsen was last seen as he walked out of class to switch classes. That kicked off the search by law enforcement, family, and volunteers. On day 3, the FBI confirmed its involvement. Search teams used K9s, drones, and boats at the Walnut Creek Recreation Area, at one point lowering the water but did not find any clues. They also focused on the Prairie Creek area as La Vista police went door-to-door near Ryan's apartment in the area of 84th and Harrison. On May 26, a rally was held for Ryan at Central Park. Community members banded together, wearing green ribbons, the color of missing children awareness, as school and city leaders talked about staying positive in the search. On June 18, investigators found an umbrella with Ryan's DNA on it on his apartment complex grounds. Police say he may have gone back to his apartment on the day he went missing but did not have a key. In July, his older sister, Taylor, put out a Facebook post stating the family is not giving up. La Vista police say they are still searching for Ryan. We'll hear more about their efforts Tuesday evening on 3 News Now live at 6 p.m. We'll also hear from Papillion La Vista community school leaders to find out what changes they're making to keep other kids from going missing. Mother of Ryan Larsen, missing boy from La Vista, files lawsuit against Papillion La Vista School District. The mother of Ryan Larsen has filed a civil lawsuit against the Papillion La Vista School District, seeking damages for his disappearance. In the petition, filed May 12, Larsen alleges Ryan disappeared because the school district and its employees acted in bad faith, used gross misjudgment, and were deliberately indifferent toward his needs. Ryan, who was diagnosed with autism, absence seizures, and Tourette's disorder, was under an individualized education plan and needed constant supervision, according to the petition. Ryan walked out of La Vista West Elementary in the middle of the school day on May 17, 2021. He was last seen near his mother's apartment that afternoon but is still missing despite extensive search efforts. In the lawsuit, Larsen alleges that the district left Ryan unsupervised in a classroom on the day of his disappearance, despite knowledge of his disabilities and his history of running away from the school, including 3 times in the 5 months before his disappearance. Larsen also alleges that the district made no attempts to prevent Ryan from leaving the school and did not make any immediate attempts to retrieve him, according to the lawsuit. In her petition, Tammy Larsen said the district and its employees caused Ryan to have suffered the loss of experiencing a normal educational life, mental and emotional distress, the loss of companionships of his mother and siblings, and likely lost his life. She is seeking an undisclosed amount of monetary damages for her and Ryan's emotional distress, according to the petition. "We've tried to take any steps to make sure something like this doesn't happen again," said Annette Amon, Director of Communications for Papillion La Vista Community Schools. Amon said those steps include updating elopement procedures and putting cameras in all of the district's elementary schools. "We did not have cameras in place at the time of Ryan's disappearance," Amon said. Amon did not have a response to the specific accusations in the lawsuit. "I think it's up to the courts to decide what exactly transpired that day. It's a tragic situation, one that I think everyone involved in any way looks back and says, what should I have done? What could I have done?" Amon told KETV News Watch 7 Monday. Amon said the district's hearts go out to Ryan's family. "Every day since his disappearance has been a difficult time for the school district and the staff, particularly at La Vista West Elementary, and I can't imagine what it's like for his family." Last month, a Sarpy County judge denied Tammy Larsen's petition to have Ryan declared dead. The judge said there's not enough evidence to prove that there's more of a chance that the boy is dead than alive, saying, "The evidence is insufficient to conclude that Ryan more probably died than survived." Tammy filed the motion so she could file this claim against the Papillion La Vista School District. Nebraska law says a person needs to be missing for at least 5 years before they can be declared dead. Papillion La Vista schools seek dismissal of complaint filed by mother of Ryan Larsen. Papillion La Vista Community School District filed a motion Friday to dismiss a complaint filed by Ryan Larsen's mother. Court documents said the dismissal of the complaint, which was filed by Tammy Larsen, was due to a lack of jurisdiction. Ryan Larsen, who was diagnosed with autism, absence seizures, and Tourette's disorder, was under an individualized education plan and needed constant supervision, according to a petition filed by his mother. Ryan walked out of La Vista West Elementary in the middle of the school day on May 17, 2021. He was last seen near his mother's apartment that afternoon but is still missing despite extensive search efforts. In a lawsuit filed by Tammy, she alleged that the district left Ryan unsupervised in a classroom on the day of his disappearance, despite knowledge of his disabilities and his history of running away from the school. Larsen also alleged that the district made no attempts to prevent Ryan from leaving the school and did not make any immediate attempts to retrieve him, according to the lawsuit. In the 32-page brief, attorneys for the school said, "There is still no concrete understanding of what befell Ryan that would have actually caused his disappearance, and that Ryan's disappearance was caused by Ryan, in that Ryan chose to leave school grounds." Tammy Larsen is seeking unspecified damages for emotional distress, according to the petition. The response said, "Plaintiffs have failed to plead with adequate sufficiency in their claim that Ms. Larsen suffers from distress so severe that no reasonable person could be expected to endure it. Nor have plaintiffs plead with the adequate sufficiency that Ms. Larsen's alleged emotion distress was caused by a sudden injury and not several acts that took place over time." No court dates have been set in this federal case. Police say missing Ryan Larsen case still an open, active investigation. Wednesday, a federal judge in Omaha dismissed a lawsuit brought forward by the family of Ryan Larsen, the 11-year-old boy with autism who went missing in 2021, against the Papillion La Vista School District. Although efforts made by the Larsen family to hold someone accountable for his disappearance have failed in the courts, La Vista police say they're still working to locate the boy. "We will keep working it until we find Ryan," said La Vista Police Captain Tom Armbrust. Armbrust says although the case is nearly 2.5 years old now, it's not a cold case. Well, I don't like to use the word cold, but I understand the analogy, Armbrust said. We do still follow up on leads and tips as we get them. It is not as active as it was when it initially happened. It's been some time, a substantial period of time has elapsed, but it is an open, active investigation. Nowadays, Armbrust said tips and sightings are much more infrequent, but they've come from as far as the east coast of the US. If somebody thinks they saw someone that looks like Ryan, then we'll call that jurisdiction and ask them to follow up on it, Armbrust said. But still, Ryan's disappearance remains a mystery. It's hard to fathom that someone could just literally vanish. Especially in 2021, with how many people there are and cameras and cell phones and things like that. But Armbrust insists that the department has not given up hope, and they don't plan to. I'm hopeful that Ryan is still alive and that Ryan is out there, Armbrust said. That's the message that we at the La Vista Police Department want to put out there. Until we can prove otherwise, that's the way we are going to look at it, and we want people to think that way and think in a positive manner for Ryan and his loved ones. Armbrust reminds the community that Ryan was 11 when he disappeared, but he's now 13. They say photos that are shown of him may be slightly different than how he could look now. They encourage anyone who sees a person resembling Ryan Larsen to contact La Vista Police and 911 without hesitation. 6 News has reached out to the Larsen family for comment but has yet to hear back. Nearly 3 years later, Nebraska family of 11-year-old boy not giving up on their search for answers about his disappearance. 11-year-old Ryan Larsen walked out of his elementary school in La Vista, Nebraska on May 17, 2021. Ryan is on the autism spectrum and his family asks anyone with information to come forward. Original. It's the word that loved ones use when describing 11-year-old Ryan Larsen. He is just so original with everything, his older sister Taylor told Dateline. One of my favorite things about Ryan is he is so funny, and not necessarily because he's trying to be. Ryan's mother, Tammy Larsen, told Dateline that some of his favorite things include Matchbox cars, army figurines, and Legos. But most of all he loves to play pranks. He has a mechanical wind-up bug, Tammy told Dateline. He loves to wind it up and let it go in his sister's room and wait for them to see it and then giggle when they did. He always thinks it's hilarious. He also would take it to school to play pranks on his teachers. Ryan has 3 older sisters, Christina, Kayla, and Taylor, who all miss Ryan and his silly pranks dearly. Their close-knit family has been incomplete for nearly 3 years since the day Ryan disappeared. Tammy Larsen has not seen her son, Ryan, since she dropped him off at school in La Vista, Nebraska, on the morning of May 17, 2021. That day started out normal. We got up, got ready for school, Tammy said. He was actually very excited to get home. That evening, we had some plans. Dropped him off at school, went to work. Tammy told Dateline about those after-school plans Ryan was excited about that day. We were sending a present to a friend across the country and it was kind of a mystery, she recounted. So we were going to come up with clues that night to leave him guessing, so he'd have to try and figure out what he was going to get in the mail. At 12:27 p.m., that otherwise normal day took a turn. That is when Tammy received a call that would change her life forever. Just minutes earlier, at around noon, Ryan reportedly walked out of La Vista West Elementary. Ryan is on the autism spectrum and also has epilepsy and Tourette's. I got the company call from the school saying that they believed Ryan had walked out of school. They didn't know for sure, and that I needed to come to school, Tammy told Dateline. According to Ryan's family, this was not the first time Ryan had walked out of school or gone missing, in general. However, in the past, it had only been for a short time. I actually had called an officer that he had gotten to know because this is not the first time Ryan has run from school, Tammy said. And, you know, I said, okay, school called. Where do we go from here? Tammy said the officer advised her to go home first to check for Ryan there. So she went home, and when Ryan was not there, Tammy immediately headed to the school. When she arrived, Tammy learned Ryan had been having an issue in class. He had an issue, I believe, with a math problem, and he was having a hard time, Tammy said. So part of Ryan's special individual education plan, his IEP, he can move to a different room to calm down. According to Tammy, Ryan was left unattended for a few moments when switching classrooms, and that is when he walked out of the school. Dateline contacted La Vista West Elementary to get a timeline of events the day Ryan disappeared. The principal directed Dateline to contact the Papillion La Vista Community School District. Captain DJ Barkle, who is currently the acting chief of the La Vista Police Department, confirmed that authorities were told by the school that Ryan had been having some difficulty, and was moved to another room. Captain Barkle also told Dateline there is surveillance footage of Ryan leaving the school, however, it has not been released to the public. We spoke directly with school employees at the time. We went directly to all the staff who were working that day, and interviewed them, Barkle said. Based on Ryan's history of running away, authorities had a few areas they knew to check for him. We immediately went to the areas where we had found him in the past, Barkle said. The captain said they checked local businesses and parks, in addition to the school property. Officers also searched the apartment complex where Ryan lives, the playground area, and the garages. According to Captain Barkle, Ryan would sometimes go visit his grandmother who lived nearby, so officers searched there, too. Unfortunately, those search efforts turned up nothing. Captain Barkle told Dateline that there is no evidence of foul play at this time. He just vanished, which seems very odd, he said. I mean, it's a busy area for our city, a lot of people, a lot of vehicular traffic. So the fact that no one really saw anything say he was being abducted, that would have drawn attention. Captain Barkle is due to retire next year. He said Ryan's case is one of those cases that he knows will stick with him. If we don't find him or find out what happened, it'll probably stick with every one of us here, you know, until there's a resolution to it, he said. I mean, no one wants to see, as I said, anybody missing. But a child, that touches all of us who are parents or grandparents, so we take that personal. According to his family, Ryan would sometimes get upset if he was not good at something quickly. If he doesn't understand something education-wise right away, he gets very frustrated. Kind of a perfectionist, Tammy said. Can't get it the first time, it's very hard for him to try and get it done. They think that could explain why he may have gotten upset at school that day because of the math problem and was being moved to another room, per his IEP. Tammy and Taylor explained some of the other things that frequently upset Ryan, or cause him to have sensory overload. Loud noises for sure, Tammy said. I think a lot of times just, like, being in overly crowded places sometimes he could kind of become a little nervous, Taylor said. He definitely didn't like to be told no sometimes. You know, that would frustrate him. Taylor said that she had gotten married and was no longer living at home with her family in May of 2021. She told Dateline that she had always been physically there for Ryan in the past when he was struggling with something at school. This was the first time he had walked out of school when I wasn't living there anymore, Taylor noted. Ryan has just been through so much. He's had the hardest time in school and he's been bullied and he just always felt like he didn't fit in. Hearing that as, like, a big sister, that, like, I wasn't there, like, I wasn't home to do anything about it and I wasn't there to, like, kind of be there right away when Ryan walked out of school. It was really, really hard to deal with, Taylor said. After almost 2 years with no answers, Tammy needed to make a very hard decision. She filed a motion to have Ryan declared deceased in February 2023. Dateline spoke with Sean Conway, Tammy's attorney, who provided some insight on the legal standpoint of that decision. The state action and having Ryan declared deceased was one way in which we could proceed on with the lawsuit against the school district, Conway said. It also, in speaking with Tammy, was providing, I think, or at least an attempt to provide some measure of closure for what her and the family have been going through. From a personal standpoint, this decision was not easy for Ryan's family. It was very hard to hear that, you know, when we decided to go that way, Tammy told Dateline. Because I still believe he's out there, but at the same time I want the people that need to be held accountable for that day to be held accountable for it. Taylor also discussed the family's difficult decision. I think it is important to know that when coming to that decision we made 100% sure that even if the judge decided to declare him, it would in no way stop any investigations or police work, Taylor said. I also wanted to add that we chose to go that route because we knew that it wasn't a permanent decision. When Ryan is found, the judge would reverse the ruling immediately. I think these are important to note for this topic. The motion was denied on April 27, 2023. When asked if the family will be pursuing it again, Conway told Dateline, We are not pursuing that action currently as Ryan's death will be presumed after 5 years from the date of disappearance. The Larsen family is pursuing legal action against the Papillion La Vista Community School District. Initially, we filed a federal action against the school district alleging violations of the ADA, IDEA, etc. The court dismissed that action as it determined we did not have remedies under federal law, Conway said. But the court did not comment on our state claims. The current action against the school district is in state court and alleges negligence on the part of the school district. On March 27, Dateline reached out to the Papillion La Vista Community School District and was told a statement would be provided in response, but it has not yet been provided. Follow-up calls have also not yet been returned. The news that Ryan was missing shook the whole La Vista, Nebraska community. In the beginning, the turnout was amazing with the community, Tammy told Dateline of the search for her son. I mean, there were hundreds and hundreds of people out looking. We felt very loved and taken care of, I think, by the community, by seeing everybody help out the way that they were, Ryan's sister Taylor added. Taylor and Tammy started a Facebook group dedicated to Ryan's case called What Happened to Ryan Larsen. There, they keep the community updated on the facts and status of Ryan's case. I think social media is very, very powerful. I think that we've kind of had like a love-hate kind of situation going on with it, Taylor told Dateline. I think every single one of us think, what if, every single day. Like, what could we have done better to fix the situation? What could we have done to help Ryan so this never happened? And I think that social media just kind of adds to that by telling you like, well, you should have done this, you should have done this, you should have been better. Taylor said that all the noise is difficult to deal with, but it's worth it if it helps bring attention to Ryan's disappearance. That's very hard when you're going through the situation. But I think we're willing to go through anything to help spread awareness about Ryan, she said. We are thankful that social media is getting his name out there no matter what has been going on and what has been being said in the media. Ryan's family told Dateline that they are not letting up on their search for answers. We feel like somebody has to know something somewhere. He didn't just disappear into thin air, Tammy said, adding that anyone who thinks they may have seen something should come forward, even if they aren't sure it's anything of importance. Tell somebody anyways, it could be the difference that the loved one comes home or not. At the time of his disappearance, Ryan was 5'8" and 125 pounds. He has brown hair and hazel eyes. He was last seen wearing a white t-shirt, blue jeans, and a black zip-up jacket with orange around the collar and hood. May 17, 2024 will be 3 years that Ryan has been missing. Ryan would be 14 years old today. He turns 15 on June 8. Anyone with information on Ryan's whereabouts is asked to contact the La Vista Police Department at 402-331-1582. Missing since May 17, 2021. Missing from La Vista, Nebraska. Classification: endangered. Missing sex: male. Race: white. Date of birth: June 8, 2009. 14. Age: 11 years old. Height and weight: 5 feet 8 inches, 125 pounds. Clothing/jewelry description: a black and gray zippered hooded sweatshirt or sweat jacket with orange lining inside the hood, an Old Navy shirt, blue jeans, and black New Balance sneakers. Carrying a polka dot umbrella which was later found. Medical conditions: Ryan has autism, Tourette's syndrome, and epilepsy, and needs medication which he doesn't have with him. Although he's considered high-functioning, he is usually nonverbal with strangers, and he has a history of running and hiding in small places. Distinguishing characteristics: Caucasian male. Brown hair, hazel eyes. Ryan was last seen in La Vista, Nebraska on May 17, 2021. He was a 6th grader at La Vista West Elementary School. After becoming frustrated with a math problem, Ryan went to another room to be by himself and calm down. An adult was supposed to be supervising him, but one supervisor had to leave the room and their replacement was late. During the time he was not supervised, between 11:55 a.m. and 12:05 p.m., Ryan left the school campus. At 12:27 p.m., the school notified his mother that he was missing. At 12:29 p.m. the school called 911, and police arrived 5 minutes later to begin a search. A neighbor saw Ryan at 1:45 p.m. at Southfield Apartments about 2 blocks from his school on 84th Street and Harrison Street. He was holding his umbrella at the time. Ryan lived at the apartment complex with his mother and one older sister. but he couldn't have gone inside his apartment after leaving school because he didn't have the key. He has never been heard from again. More than 6 weeks later, his umbrella was found near a dumpster behind Southfield Apartments. This is the same place where he was last seen on the day of his disappearance. Due to his autism, Ryan has a history of running away and hiding. The police referred to him as the king of hide-and-seek. Due to his habit of running, he had been enrolled in Project Lifesaver, which equips vulnerable people with a GPS tracking bracelet so they can be found if they go missing. However, Ryan repeatedly cut off the tracker and eventually his mother stopped making him wear it. In spite of his history, Ryan has never been gone this long before. He would usually be located nearby a short time after running away. His family describes him as a happy boy who enjoyed helping others, such as his school janitor. His father was never part of his life, but he has 2 other older sisters who were grown and out of the family home by the time of his disappearance. Prior to his disappearance, Ryan had searched online for things such as how to hide underground, how to avoid being spotted and how to hide from police. Extensive searches have turned up no indication of his whereabouts. In early 2023, Ryan's mother petitioned the court to have him declared legally dead, arguing it was unlikely he was still alive due to his autism and other medical issues. She stated she intended to file a claim against the Papillion La Vista Public School District for Ryan's wrongful death. However, in April of that year a judge threw out her petition to declare him dead, saying there wasn't enough evidence to conclude Ryan was deceased. Under Nebraska state law, a person is presumed dead if they have been missing without explanation for 5 years. If Ryan is not found by May 2026, his mother can have him declared dead at that time. His case remains unsolved. La Vista Police Department 402-331-1582.
There's too much that's going on, I don't know what to do. Paralyzed by options in this world, can't pick and choose. Yeah, everybody's life is on display, including you. Yeah, I feel every day is just the same, stuck in a loop. I need some variety, I'm sick of this anxiety. I'm sick of this society, they make us feel a rivalry. Compare ourselves to others, but we all got different mothers. We were raised in different structures, so we're different, it's no wonder, yeah. I just want a great life, something where I feel like I just didn't waste time. Something I look back and say that was a great time. Cause man, I just hate when the years pass by the wayside. I'm so lost inside, and I need a little time to find who I am in this life. I will find a way to feel alive. I'm so lost inside. You better watch out now, I figured something out, what this whole life's about, yeah. It's not the goal, it's the journey, wasted emotion is worry. I'll stop being in a hurry, and I'll just enjoy what I'm doing. Keep pushing forward and moving, appreciate the improvement, yeah. I was so stuck on a goal, was losing sight of my soul. Need to enjoy getting old and be so present. I don't know if there's a heaven, but I know I wanna get in. And sometimes I feel a presence, energy in a direction, so I follow intuition. It took me to a musician, now I'm on a different mission, to help others with afflictions. Now I'm not lost inside, I finally have seemed to find who I am in this life, and I found a way to feel alive. I'm not lost inside. yeah. Everybody knows that I'm breaking down. Everybody knows I ain't faking now. Everybody knows my heart's vacant now. Yeah, she hates me now, I made mistakes but now I don't ever wanna be alone. I don't really ever feel at home. On my own, in the zone, that's the only way I know. Feeling low, about to blow back up. I won't ever let the doubt creep in. Gotta pop a couple more aspirin. I don't think I'll ever let you in. Easier to break it off best friends. I don't really understand myself. I don't really understand, need help. I don't wanna be left on the shelf. Couldn't even hear me if I yelled. It's so cold